city know that this is not tolerated in our city. We come together as we have as a united, powerful movement to display our demands. Arms embargo now! Stop the genocide now! We'll be addressed by a number of speakers that have been leaders in this movement. First up, I'd like to call Miriam from the Palestinian Youth Movement.
Netanyahu, you can't hide! Netanyahu, you can't hide! You're committing genocide! You're committing genocide! Netanyahu, you can't hide! Netanyahu, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! A war criminal! The butcher of Gaza landed in New York City today! For almost a year, Netanyahu has overseen the genocide of our people in Gaza. He has overseen a genocide that is funded, armed, and enabled by the U.S. government. This genocide is a continuation of over 75 years of ongoing occupation and colonization of our people. And if Netanyahu had landed in any other country today, I guarantee you he would have been arrested. But in this country, in this sick country, instead he was treated with a police escort. He was sent to an expensive hotel. They used our tax dollars to protect a war criminal. They use our tax dollars to barricade our own streets, to repress our own people, and again, to protect a war criminal. And the United States can stop this war today. The United States can stop this war with an arms embargo. But instead, our government, and we just got this news today, has passed billions more in aid to Israel. Billions more in aid while claiming that they want a ceasefire. And now this war is expanding to Lebanon. It's expanding to Lebanon because the Zionist regime has always been a bloodthirsty regime. It's always been a regime that seeks to expand its occupation, to occupy all of the Arab world. The Zionist regime is a threat to liberation that we will not tolerate. For over a century, the Zionist entity has been responsible for the murder and displacement of hundreds and thousands of our people. And today, it continues with its genocidal project. We've lost hundreds of thousands of martyrs resisting Zionist barbarism. But nothing will keep us from continuing our resistance. In Gaza, in Lebanon, now and historically, our people have paid the price for liberation with their lives. With their lives. And here, we pay the price for this war. We actually pay for this war. Our government, as much as the Zionist government, is responsible for the murder of over 40,000 Palestinians and the murder of over 600 Lebanese people today. It's responsible for the forced displacement of hundreds of thousands, for the imprisonment and torture of men, women, and children. But nothing will break the resolve of our people. Nothing is going to stop our resistance. And here, in New York City, nothing is going to keep us out of our streets. Every time one of these filthy war criminals comes to our city, whether it's Biden whether it's Netanyahu, whether it's Kamala Harris, we're going to be here to greet them with a protest. We're not going to rest until we see Netanyahu arrested. We're not going to rest until all of our demands are met. We're not going to rest until we get an arms embargo. And we're not going to rest until our people in Palestine are free from the river to the sea.
Everybody, we are here because there is an international warrant out for the arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu. But the United States and the Western countries who control the UN will not put a hand on him. So the people of conscience in this country and the people of conscience all around the world are here to say that we demand the arrest of Netanyahu. And they don't want us to disturb the UN. So everybody, with one voice, we say, Netanyahu, you can't hide! Netanyahu, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! Netanyahu, you can't hide! Netanyahu, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! And we know that after the bombings in Lebanon this week, we know that the fight against Israel, the fight against U.S. imperialism is an international fight. And that is why in New York City, in the heart of the empire, we have comrades from all around the world who stand with us in struggle. And so I would like to invite a speaker from the Korean anti-imperialist diaspora group, Nodutdol.
Hello everyone, my name is Yunmi and I am a member of Nodutdol for Korean Community Development. I stand here today in the company of hundreds of comrades to demand an end to the colonization, apartheid, and genocide of the Palestinian people, which has been presided over by our most shameful visitor, Benjamin Netanyahu. I am proud to be here today with the Korean contingent for Palestine because we Koreans know too what it is like to fight for liberation against the bulls of imperialism. For 35 years, we resisted Japanese colonization, yet when our day of liberation finally came, the U.S. swiftly entered to overtake Japan as the decider of our country's fate, irrevocably splitting our nation into two. In 1948, the same year as the first Nakba, the U.S. denied the Korean people the right to govern ourselves and subsequently murdered up to 60,000 people who dared to protest in Jeju Island. A series of military dictatorships backed by the U.S. followed this event and cultivated South Korea into the neo-colonial outpost that it is today. And it is no coincidence that the occupation of Palestine and the division of Korea occurred in the same year. Just as Israel serves as a lackey for imperial interests in the Middle East, the U.S. has ingrained its will so deeply into South Korea that its government directly participates in the current genocide by exporting weapons to the U.S., who then sells them to Israel. Monopoly capitalists like Hyundai are happy to cut out the middleman and supply the IOF directly with weapons and machinery. Meanwhile, the current South Korean president, Yoon Suk-yeol, has not only refused to vote for a ceasefire, but is considered a great friend of Israel by Netanyahu himself. It's no wonder that tens of thousands of South Koreans are calling for Yoon's resignation this weekend. Yoon's complicity in genocide and escalating war exercises in Korea are not an act of leadership. Real leaders protect their people, not endorse their destruction. President Yoon's subservience to the West is a disgrace to our ancestors who fought and died for Korean liberation. Having felt the retribution of empire on our own homeland, we Koreans recognize that the imperialist agenda that keeps our people divided is the same imperialist agenda that craves the destruction and occupation of Palestine. And so, we stand firmly by our Palestinian siblings in opposition to our common enemy. We know we are stronger together as the liberation struggles of our people are inseparable. And we will continue to fight until both Palestine and Korea are free. Power to every Palestinian fighting for their sovereignty, and glory to all the martyrs. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From Betusan to Hadasan, Korea will be one.
Every time the media lies, our neighborhood in Beirut dies. Over the last year of this Israeli-American genocide, the Western media has been a complete and total accomplice. CNN, Fox News, and the New York Times all have blood on their hands. But we as a movement, we have cut through that. We have sharpened our ability to read through that. And we know the truth. We know the truth through the assistance of people's journalists and people who provide the real news. Next up, it is my honor to call Rania Khalid from the Breakthrough News, the True People's News.
I don't have an amazing fire speech plan like everybody else, because I was just told I want to speak, but I want to speak a little bit from the heart. I live in Beirut, Lebanon, and I happen to be here right now because of the UN General Assembly. And the last year, as Palestinians have been facing genocide armed by the US, carried out by Israel, Israeli leaders have every single day threatened to bring about apocalypse on Lebanon. They threatened to burn Beirut and turn it into Gaza. And over the last week, we've watched them carry out one terrorist attack after another against the people of Lebanon. Earlier this week, we watched the Israelis indiscriminately carpet bomb Lebanon and kill and murdered over 500 people in the course of 24 hours, and it has not relented. Every single day of this week, I wake up in the middle of the night to look at the news to see how many people they've slaughtered in my country. And you know what else I think about? I think about the fact that for the last year, Palestinians have had to endure this. All of our hearts are breaking for Palestine, but there is something viscerally extra horrible about watching your home, your own home, be destroyed. Enough of this destruction. Enough of the media lying about this destruction. Every day Israel terrorizes our people. They say Israel's acting in self-defense. Genocide is self-defense. And that we're the terrorists because our resistance is hitting their military stations. We're the terrorists. That's what they say. Netanyahu is a terrorist. Biden is a terrorist. And Vice President Harris, who has been silent since Lebanon has been bombed and has backed Israel 100%, is a terrorist. They want us to submit or die. That's what their ceasefire proposals say. But our people will not submit, and they will refuse to die. They will always fight back. And they are fighting under the most dire of circumstances. In Gaza, they are fighting under the most dire of circumstances, from tunnels. In Lebanon, they are fighting under dire circumstances, and they are turning South Lebanon into another Gaza. And we in the Imperial Court, we say no. We say enough. We say arrest the war criminals, arrest Netanyahu, arrest Biden. No more weapons for Israel. Enough. Before I wrap here, I just want to say, I am so lucky to, in the midst of watching this genocide expand to my country to be surrounded by wonderful comrades who are coming out all the time whenever they can to tell everybody that Americans do not support this genocide and they don't support arming Israel. So free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! And hands off Lebanon enough! Thank you.
We're out here after 10 months of organizing because the heads of state from around the world have gathered in New York. And we, the people, are here mobilizing as we do every day because we know the leaders of this country have ignored our cause for the last 10 months. The U.S. ruling class has shown their true selves to us. Instead of persecuting a war criminal, they choose to oppress us and attack us and censor us. So I would like to welcome somebody who has been a long-time fighter for the people of this country and for the people around the world. Please welcome Dr. Jill Stein.
Thank you all so much. You are all the heroes. We are the heroes. We say to Netanyahu, off you go to The Hague now, as soon as we can make it happen. We say to the Biden-Harris administration, off you go to The Hague now. This murderous war criminal and this genocider should not be setting foot here in our country or any country. His list of crimes is too long to list. Not only the slaughter of 200,000 innocent people, but the torture of 2 million people living in terror every day for the last nearly year. We say enough. Enough! He repeatedly bombed Gaza with 70,000 tons of bombs in the first 6 months alone. 4 times the firepower that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He has imposed a total embargo of food, water, medicine, energy, destroyed nearly all homes, hospitals, healthcare centers, schools, universities, power plants, and sanitation. He has killed the press, some 140 journalists, most recently shutting down the Al Jazeera office in the West Bank so that the world could not see his crimes. It is evidence of his guilt that he is shutting down the eyes of the world, but the eyes of the world are watching, and the hearts of the world are with us. And together, we are absolutely unstoppable. 68% of Americans was saying, enough of this genocide, shut the genocide down, way back in November. And more recently, 61% of Americans are calling for a weapons embargo now. What is wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture is our elected officials and both political parties are taking their marching orders from Netanyahu, from AIPAC, and from the war machine. I want to remind you what Frederick Douglass said, that power concedes nothing without a demand. We must be that demand in every walk of life. That means in the streets. That means in our boycotts, in what we buy and what we don't buy. We must make that demand. And remember what Alice Walker said, that the biggest way people give up power is by not knowing we have it to start with. We haven't. Don't let them talk you out of it. And we must use our power also of our votes. Whatever you do, there are good choices who will shut down the genocide and the power is a big pressure campaign, the Trump derangement syndrome that is telling you to vote for the other genociders. I heard some discussion about that on my way over here today, and I couldn't believe it, that even in this crowd that is leading the charge, some people are drinking the Kool-Aid. We must remind each other, we have two fascist options on the ballot. One is named Donald Trump, the other is named Kamala Harris. Neither one is okay. If you vote for genocide, you are endorsing genocide. We have the power to shut down genocide. Every vote against genocide is a shot across the bow of the empire to tell them we are here, we are getting organized, we are not going away. Shut down the genocide, shut down the occupation, shut down the apartheid state and the ethnic cleansing. We are unstoppable together, and we have only just started. Thank you.
We have the U.S. media and the politicians and their political theater have tried to distract us from the real facts of what's going on. What we know is that both political parties are endorsing this genocide. Both political parties do not stand for the liberation of Palestine. And they have tried to distract us. They have tried to put lies in front of our eyes in the media, but we will not stand for that. And we will not stand for that because after 10 months of organizing, we are clear in our purpose. And we are determined in our conviction to stand for anti-imperialism from Palestine to the Philippines and from Palestine to Mexico. So I would like to welcome up someone who has taught me a lot about what it means to stand for your conviction. Please welcome from the Party for Socialism and Liberation, comrades, friends. It's been almost a year. We declared it almost a year ago that this would be the era of resistance. That this would be the era of organized struggle. That this would be the era of the people. And it is. And it will be. Netanyahu, Netanyahu. Because that is what he is. It is Satan. We must not be mistaken. The only reason he's expanding this war across the Middle East is because he's scared. He is scared. This is an expansion of war for self-preservation. And you know what has made him scared? The same force that has scared Biden, that has scared Harris, that is having the U.S. to tremble. And that is the power of the people. We cannot forget that. We cannot forget that. We have been able to make connections. This week has been a heavy week. It has been heavy. There have been the murders. The lynching. The state-sponsored lynching of 2 black men in this country. And people are making connections because the same forces that are killing our people, the same forces that are jailing our black and brown and poor white people, are the same ones that are bombarding Lebanon, that are bombarding kids in the Middle East. The Chinese don't have me in debt. The Chinese are the ones that are killing our kids in the streets. It is not the Russians that are waging war and have 41% of the children in the South Bronx dying from poverty. That is U.S. imperialism. And if there's something that we must learn from this year's struggle, as people who are fortifying our strength and understanding who our enemies are, and there's one thing we must learn, is that we can't just simply be anti-genocide. We need to be anti-imperialist. We cannot simply stand against capitalism. The proposal is socialism, and we must fight to build it here. Comrades, there's a lot we will hear in the news. There's a lot that we will hear that will make our guts wrench. But you best believe that our only hope lies in the organization of our people and the fight back. The capitalist system won't give us a win. They won't give us an inch, but we must not give them an inch either. We must not continue to legitimize their oppression. Not every 4 years, not every 2 years, not every fucking day. And I have this to share with you. Listen to this very carefully. Solidarity and resistance outlived Eric Adams. Solidarity and resistance will outlive Biden. It will outlive Harris. It will outlive Trump. Because the people are committed to build a society that we so urgently need to allow the rest of the world to breathe. Are we committed? Are we committed? Are we committed? Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Comrades, today Netanyahu is in our city, the architect of this genocidal war. But we know this didn't start with Netanyahu. We know this has been going on since 1948 and beyond. And we know that the Palestinian people, our people in Gaza, in the West Bank, our Palestinian people in Lebanon and the broader region will outlive this genocide. Their resistance will continue until complete freedom and liberation. And as long as that continues, we will be in the streets, we will be organizing, and we will build organizations for the long term. I'm going to call up somebody, an organization that knows about building for the long term, that knows about staying in the fight. Please welcome Bill from Pal-Awda.
The world has never known a more evil creature than the monster who landed in this city last night and will be speaking at the United Nations tomorrow. I need not say his name, but it is not only him, but everyone in his regime who seek the extermination of the entire people of Palestine and of Lebanon too, to guarantee the future of that crooked real estate scheme they call Israel. The world has never seen greater evil than his army is perpetrating today on the children, women, and men of Gaza, of the West Bank, across Palestine, and in Lebanon. But if there is anyone who is greater evil, it is those who pay the bills, because he would be nothing, his army would be nothing, without the endless flow of weapons of mass destruction from the United States, paid for by our tax dollars. In 2022, the racist state called Israel the Zionist criminal enterprise in Palestine got about $5 billion in direct military aid. from the United States.
Shame!
Since the genocide began last October, or intensified, they have been given, in my estimate, over $40 billion of bombs, white phosphorus, chemical weapons, dense inert metal explosives, even free gasoline for fuel for jets being shipped by the Valero corporations to fuel the F-16s and F-35s at our expense. And Biden and Harris claim they want a ceasefire. Just today, Washington allocated another $8.7 billion of free arms to the Zionist murder machine in Palestine. This is when people are being shot in the subways of New York by NYPD over a goddamn $2.85 fare. For teachers, for schools have no money, hospitals have no money, we have no medical care, people are sleeping on the streets. Before they murdered him, Dr. Martin Luther King said, the bombs that explode in Vietnam also explode in our communities here. That is true today as well. The bombs that explode in Gaza and in Lebanon also explode in our communities here. And we have the most important job in the world. Well, let me say first, I said there is no greater evil than these monsters and those who pay them. There are no greater heroes on earth. The world has never seen greater heroes than the people of Palestine, of Gaza, of the West Bank, of Lebanon, who are standing up to this brutal war machine. They are not terrorists. They are freedom fighters. And we too must be freedom fighters. We too must be heroes, because our job is the most important in the world, to stop the flow of arms and money to the Zionist murder machine. And when we do that, we will be striking a blow not only for the people of Lebanon and Palestine, but for all of humanity, and for including ourselves.
As we approach 1 year of genocide and resistance, we remind ourselves that complete freedom from the river to the sea is a necessity. Not in the sense of something we want, not in the sense of something we hope to see, but it's something that will definitely and most certainly happen. It is a historical fact. And to address that further, I'm going to call Rabbi Weiss.
With the help of the Almighty, I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may convey His message, and so, inshallah, bring peace to the world and sanctify His name. Assalamu alaikum. The time does not permit to delve into the 76 years or more of Nakba, of occupation. But we just want to at least open the window, shed a little light, and let you know that this occupation has nothing to do with a difference of religion, and has to do with war against religion. Judaism is a religion of 3,000 years. Zionism is a movement of 140 odd years. It is a total transformation to selfish, nationalist occupation. Unacceptable! The Zionists masquerade in Judaism in order to intimidate. It is their nuclear attack weapon. Why, when anybody who has any humanity, any godliness in them, and stands up and says, how dare you kill humanity, human people, innocent people, they stand up and say you are an anti-Semite. They are the anti-Semites! I want to just show I'm carrying a picture. When the Zionists bombed Lebanon last time, it was Yasser Arafat who sent his Palestinian soldiers to protect the synagogue in Beirut. We don't have a religious conflict. We are trying to stand up for people who are innocent because the Torah tells us not only what people call humanity, it is godliness to stand up and not permit people to kill and occupy and destroy godly creation. We are pleading with the world leaders here in the United Nations. Do not betray the lofty position God gave you. I just came from Dearborn, Michigan. Last night on a plane, we were together with Lebanese Americans and crying for the people of Beirut. They came over to me. One said, my parents are from Albania. One said, we're from Georgia. We protect the Jews. This was a matter of 80 years ago. Who is going to say that they stood up for the people of Palestine and Beirut? We must not be silent. I have them. Time does not permit us. But remember, Judaism is to serve God. Zionism is a rebellion against God. And when they use the word anti-Semitism, we should just know they are using a criminal terminology. They are making null the value of the word anti-Semitism, because when somebody will commit a crime against Jews, people will laugh and say that's anti-Semitism. We just see what anti-Semitism are killing and killing. They're making nullifying the word of anti-Semitism, and they are killing Palestinians, Lebanese, and Jews are dying because of them, not because of religion. We lived together for hundreds of years. The Muslims protected the Jews for hundreds of years. What has changed? Occupation. They are the cause of the death. They are the cause of all the bloodshed of Muslims, of Christians, of Jews. Let us remember. So therefore, do not be silent. Do not be intimidated. Stand up the whole time until ultimately God, with his compassion, will bring a total removal, not help speedily peace to the occupation. Assalamu alaikum. Judaism, yes. Zionism, no. The state of Israel must go. Judaism, yes. Zionism, no. The state of Israel must go.
Our last speaker before we march is somebody who knows about standing between the imperialist monster and the liberation of our people. Someone who has taught me a great lot about fighting against the U.S. war machine. Please welcome from the People's Forum,
Comrades, we are here today because there are war criminals parading in New York City. But it's not just Netanyahu. The biggest war criminal in New York today is Joe Biden. Every bomb that falls on Lebanon is a U.S. bomb. Every bomb that falls in Gaza is a U.S. bomb. If you are a U.S. politician and you don't stay no to weapons to Israel, then you are pro-genocide. We are here because right now they're telling us to stay quiet. They're telling us to just shut up and vote. But we want more than that. We are here for more than just a ceasefire. We want liberation. We want an end to occupation. And for the occupation to go, Israel has to go. Israel and the United States are the greatest threat to peace in the planet. Are we gonna march together? Are we ready to fight together? We come from many countries that are being occupied. From Gaza to the Philippines. From Haiti to the Congo. We know the cost and the pain of U.S. imperialism. From Gaza to Korea, we know the struggle is won. Blockades,
sanctions, occupations are all crimes against humanity. But the power of this march is not because we believe in Palestine. The power of this march is because we are all coming together for a cause greater than all of us. When we chant, there's only one solution.
Revolution!
There's only one solution.
Revolution!
There's only one solution.
Revolution!
We mean it.
We do.
Because we know there is no way of changing our society without revolution. And there is no revolution without the people united. It is the masses of people together who are going to defeat the genocide.
Today we demanded that this country stop its ultimate complicity in this genocide. We marched on the UN. We demanded an arms embargo. We demanded for Netanyahu to be arrested. And we demanded for Palestine to be free. And as long as we are still able to march, as long as we are still able to shout, we will be in the streets demanding that Palestine be free. The ruling class in this country is addicted to war. The Zionist regime is addicted to occupation. And they're addicted to war and occupation because that's the reason they exist. That's how they function. That's how they make their dollar. And it's our duty in the heart of this dirty empire to stand for liberation. So we will stand together every day that we're called upon to stand here, that we're called upon by our martyrs and by the steadfastness of our people. We will be in the streets fighting for Gaza.